Hi friends, and welcome to the Healthy Beyond 40 show. I'm Michelle, mom of four and military wife. I have my doctorate in physical therapy and I'm an online personal trainer, health coach, and yoga teacher. Do you wish that you had more energy and could get into shape? Do you feel like you're struggling to lose weight? Maybe you've tried a diet before, but it just wasn't sustainable, and now you don't know how to get started. We're going to look at health holistically here, and most importantly, keep things simple and quick. If you're ready to develop healthier habits, exercise consistently, and lose weight sustainably without long workouts or following strict diets, then you're in the right place. In this podcast, I bring together my expertise with real life strategies. No magic pill here, so lace up those shoes and get moving. Today, I'm going to be talking about 5 different types of eating. So maybe do you struggle with going overboard at parties? Maybe you mindlessly just start eating and you don't even realize how much you've ate. Maybe you go to food when you need comfort, when you're stressed, or you just eat what's easy. So I'm going to be breaking down these different types of eating so that you can have a better understanding of what's going on for you. Because so commonly, many of us have tried so many diets and they keep failing. Because diets most of the time provide a temporary thing to do. But as we break down these different types of eating, it will help you see how maybe you need to dig deeper into one of these. That keeps holding you up, and that's why you can't sustain things. Before we get started, I just wanted to share that my podcast has hit 50,000 downloads. I am so excited and just feel so blessed to be able to share this platform and to be able to inspire and motivate you guys so that you guys can keep making steps forward in your health, that you have this positive inspiration and that you feel supported. So, for getting to 50,000 downloads, I would like to share a special discount with you. So this discount will last for the next 2 weeks, and you'll be able to save 20% off for 3 months of training with me. So this counts for just my personal training or my wellness breakthrough program that includes health coaching and personal training. So there's going to be a link down below where you can set up a free call with me. We can just get to know each other, make sure that we're fit. I want to make sure that you are a good fit for my training and my health coaching. Tell me the code fall sale. And then if you decide to sign up, I will make sure to get you that discount. So the first type of eating, I like to call eating for nourishment or fuel. So this is what God created food for, to nourish our bodies, to give us fuel. We get nutrients from the food we eat. We get energy that our body converts and uses to fuel our body. So this is what most of our eating should be in. And percents can be a little vague, but I want to say somewhere around 90 to 95% of our eating should be in this nourishment, fueling our body. It should be what we're doing most of the time. And as you listen to episodes on here, this goes back to our eating whole foods, eating foods that make our body feel good, foods that are naturally made, one ingredient type foods like vegetables, fruits, ice, these single ingredient type of food. This is why I also like to add some superfoods into my routine. So I love Organifi's green juice because it has these extra superfoods all packed in to one thing. So as ashwagandha, which is one of my favorite adaptogen herbs, it really helps support cortisol balance or that stress hormone in our body. It has other greens like spirulina, which helps with anti-inflammatory. It helps to energize our body. It has chlorella, which is a superfood and it helps to detoxify our body. So it's a great way. I like to typically drink this in the morning. I have a little lemon in it. And it's a great way to give my body that extra dose of nourishment. So if you guys want to save 20% off, use the code HEALTHY20. There will also be a link down below. And I also like Organifi's Gold Drink. I will typically have this in the evening. I alternate between tea and Organifi Gold in the evening, but it's a nice, creamy turmeric drink. It has turmeric. It also has other superfoods in it. So again, it's a real nourishing supplement to add. The second type of eating is celebration eating. So think of this when we're going to a party, when we're celebrating a birthday, we're celebrating holidays. So I want you to think about, what do you like to celebrate? And how often are you celebrating? Because a lot of times it's real easy to go overboard celebrating. So you can go overboard in the sense of we're sort of celebrating lots of things. We think that we had a hard week, a hard day, and we need to celebrate. Or we're constantly just over celebrating all these different good things with food. You can also go overboard with celebration by portion size. So instead of just sticking to a small little piece of something you would enjoy, you have more and more, and you just sort of go overboard. One of my clients, we have been working on really just being intentional around sweets and around celebration and just enjoying herself. So we have set a habit to help her gain some control and to really be intentional about what she wants. So I want you to think about what you are celebrating, how often you're celebrating. Are you falling into this trap of over celebrating with food? The next type of eating is mindless eating. So think about this: when you're bored, you're probably just picking up, eating different things, not really realizing what you're doing. It's sort of just something to do in the moment. It's almost like it's a habit. And some people, this goes into this a little bit, is the clean your plate club. So maybe you grew up in a family where you cleaned your plate and it was just sort of expected that you do it. It's just sort of become a habit. It's pretty mindless. You just know that you are going to finish your plate. So I want you to think, does this happen for you? Do you notice yourself being bored? Just sort of eating. You may not be like stressed or anything, but you're just eating when you're not really hungry. Are you even able to pay attention to your hunger and fullness cues? Do you feel that hunger and you choose to eat? Or you don't really feel hungry, but you just sort of mindlessly eat all day. Or maybe you are snacking a lot. Type number 4, I like to call stress or emotional eating. So this is where there is a charge to it. So maybe you're feeling anxious, angry, frustrated. Maybe you had that hard week and you go to the grocery store and you just grab that bag of donuts because you feel like you need it because this week has just been too much. Someone shared with me recently that she really wanted to reduce her sugar cravings, that she just felt addictive. But how her life was, it was throwing her into a spiral, and she would just turn to sugar when she was tired, when she was bored, when she was stressed, when she was happy. And she can have all those emotions in one day. And so it's become this vicious cycle. So you can see right there, tired, bored, we're talking about that mindless eating. Stress, we're talking about this emotional eating. Happy, we're talking about this celebration eating. So you can see how these different types of eating can affect you and how you're doing it. So what happens here, and I spend a lot of time with my clients who struggle with the stress and emotional eating and even the celebration eating, but digging back into their past a little bit, maybe there were things that happened in your childhood. Maybe when you were sad, your parents gave you food. Or when you celebrate, they always had to be about food and it had to be about an excess amount of food. Maybe coming back to the idea of stress and emotional eating, you have different patterns, different habits around it. A lot of times with the stress or emotional eating, we're typically trying to avoid feeling an emotion. So maybe we're trying to avoid feeling stressed. So we know that if we eat a cookie and some ice cream, we're going to get that dopamine rush. It's going to make us temporarily feel better. Maybe we're avoiding anxiety because we're feeling anxious and we know just having something sweet is going to make us just feel a little better temporarily. So in these examples, you can see that we're feeling an emotion and we want to avoid it because it doesn't feel good. But what happens is we're not really handling that emotion or what's going on. And we have to really work through this. And a lot of times it's not like, hey, here's a simple hack to do this, do that, and you're fine. It takes a little bit of digging into our past and really starting new habits, new patterns in our brain. One of my clients recently told me, she's like, oh, did you know you were going to be a life coach when you got into this? Because when I am doing my health coaching, sometimes we are working on these very practical, what's your plan for the week? What are we going to do for breakfast? Things like that. But we're also spending a good amount of time digging into these stories, digging into our emotions and these different parts of our day that are affecting the choices that we make in our health. So it's important that if you're feeling stuck in any of these, that you really dig to the bottom of it. You don't try to just find this quick fix that's not really going to stick. All right, so number 5 is easy or convenience eating. So a lot of us are really busy and we don't have a lot of time and we just want something that's easy. So we want that granola bar. We want maybe that prepackaged meal. We just want to make a quick sandwich. We want to do whatever is easy. Maybe you don't like to cook. Whatever it is, convenience just seems to overrule your life. And a lot of times here, people just haven't learned some simple ways to do different things. So you might have to put some effort in, but there's a lot of healthy things that are quick and easy to eat and to make. But sometimes learning a new way of eating or doing something takes time, takes effort. So it feels a little bit harder, but once you learn how to eat some of these new things and you got these recipes down and you know what you're getting at the store each week, it becomes a lot easier and it's not complicated. So I'm a pretty quick person in the kitchen. I don't like to make complicated meals. So we have a big repertoire of easy meals to cook, quick things to eat. All right, so to go over these 5 types of eatings is first this nourishment or fuel, where we should be spending most of our time eating. Eating for what our body really needs, eating when our body needs to eat, stopping when we need to stop eating. Number 2 is the celebration eating. So when we're celebrating different things, going to parties, holidays, and maybe we're overdoing it there. Mindless eating. So eating when we're bored, when we just need something to do, it's become a habit. Number 4, that stress or emotional eating. So when we're having these feelings we really don't want to feel and we go to food because it's comforting, it's what we've done. Maybe it's what we learned in childhood to do. Number 5 is that easy or convenience eating. So just eating that quick thing, grabbing that granola bar, grabbing whatever's made so that eating can be easy because you feel like you don't have the time to make something. So I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you can see which ones you're spending more time in than you want to. And being able to take the time, allow the space to work through that. And if you guys need help to work through that, I encourage you to set that free health checkup call with me where we can dive into this. You can get a little taste of what health coaching is as we sort of talk through those goals, that struggles, where you're stuck. So there's going to be a link down below to do that. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and thank you for being part of my podcast family here and supporting my podcast. Friends, I hope this episode empowered and inspired you to take one more step forward in your health. The number one way you can thank me is to just leave a quick review. Not only does this help the podcast to grow, but I love hearing the positive impact this show has had in your life. Our world doesn't make it easy to be healthy, so having the right community around you is key. So join my free private Facebook group. The link is down below. Change is hard, but believe me, my friend, with the right tools and support, you can do this.